Nationally, home prices are up about 1.7% across the board. But in Florida, home prices are relatively flat, and in some hyperlocales, actually correcting. What's causing this in Florida? Welcome to Dre's Take. The Q2 numbers are in for the home price index, and across the board, nationwide prices are up about 1.7%. In the Northeast, home prices are kind of booming, surging just over 6% for the second quarter of 2025. In the Midwest, home prices are up 3.5%, while out west they're only up about 0.5%, 0.6 to be exact. But the South is flat, which kind of makes no sense, being that a lot of the migration that's been taking place has gone to the southern states, Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. So what's causing the flattening in home prices despite the bigger population growth? Well, the answer lies in new construction. When the builders recognized the migration patterns heading to the south and expected that demand to swell, they all ran down here to start building subdivisions and increasing inventory, which they did. But what they didn't expect was elevated mortgage rates for a sustained amount of time. The demand is still here. Buyers want to buy. Affordability is keeping them on the sidelines. And so as those construction starts finished and came to market, there was nobody who could afford them. And those homes are now sitting, which is driving up the inventory, creating downward pressure on pricing across the board. In some less desirable hyper locations, it's even causing some price correction. The question is, how long will this last? And is it going to flip completely? And although there's no crystal ball, I think that we can make some pretty good estimations here of what may happen. I think the writing is on the wall for interest rates, which don't necessarily directly impact mortgage rates, but they do indirectly. As the lower borrowing cost makes its way through the economy, that has some impacts on the bond market, which does actually produce some variations in your mortgage rates. It may not be one-to-one or happen at the same time, along the same timeline, but eventually we do see a correlation. And as of recent, with the CPI report coming in better than expected, there's now a 94% bet from the market that the Fed will be reducing their benchmark interest rate in September. That sent stocks soaring just yesterday. And I think that what we're all seeing here is that the rise in interest rates, or the stagnant interest rates at their elevated levels, has hit their peak, they've troughed, and now all that we are awaiting is the downside of that slope, or mountain, if you will. I think we're about to hit that curve and start heading down when it comes to interest rates and subsequently mortgage rates. Lawrence Yun, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, seems to share the same sentiment. He believes that this slowdown, if you will, is quite temporary. And as those rates come down, we will see that demand pick up. Those sideline buyers will come back to the market, and that will send price appreciation in an accelerated motion towards the top again. So as long as builders slow down on their starts right now and try to push through their existing inventory, and the rates do come down as we expect them to over the next 6, 8, 12 months, we'll see this time where pricing was stagnant in the South and states like Florida and Texas as really just a moment in time, a short moment in time, if you will, before we see that pricing accelerate again. I've been saying it in many Dre's Take videos, and I'll say it here again. There has been this window over the past year or so where buyers can get in and make some things happen for themselves. And I do think that that window is closing. So if you're in a position where you need to buy, this may be a good opportunity for you to look around and see if this is the right time for you, as the future may yield much more competition and difficult time finding what you need. In the meantime, if there's anything I can help you with, buying or selling, investing, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. And until next week, that's Dre's Take. All right, y'all. Take care.